Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. Going to do a little unboxing here. So I get a I get a message a few days back from a user, a subscriber of mine, named Quasi50158, and he says to me, he says, "Listen," he goes, "I'm sending you something from Walmart.com, which is where this came from, Walmart.com." He said, "I'm sending you something from Walmart.com. It's nothing special, but it is something that you used to use in your video." Oh, you know, before that, he said to me, he said, "I know Walmart is a Chinese sweatshop, but, you know," he said, "it's something you used to have and use in your videos, but you don't anymore." I have no clue what this is. I have no idea what he's talking about because I've made so many videos and over a period of 5 years from Mad Bad Voodoo, so who knows? Now, Quasi50158 doesn't have a lot of subs, but he's a very big supporter of the firearms and gear community. So check him out. There'll be a link to his channel underneath of this video. I'm going to use the knife that Colonel Salty Shellback gave me. This is a German blade, and it should do the trick. Let's see here. I don't think I've ever had anything delivered to me from Walmart.com. Oh, I might have a link to Salty Shellback too underneath this. He's an awesome dude. Check him out. Okay. You know, the funny thing is that I still use it on my videos. This is funny. This is funny. Four packs of Eclipse gum. You know, a lot of you don't know this, but I smoked when I first started. When I first started making YouTube videos, I smoked. I smoked for 18 years, and there came a point where I had to stop smoking. And the way I quit smoking, I should do a whole video series on this. But the way I quit smoking was I started using Nicorette, and what I would do is I would chew Nicorette, and I never put any kind of a time frame on anything. But I would chew Nicorette, and at some point, I started adding a piece of Eclipse gum along with the Nicorette. And then I started cutting back the Nicorette. Like, I would take a Nicorette and I would cut it in half. And I'd have like baggies with half pieces of Nicorette in it. And so I would take half a piece of Nicorette, and then I would take a piece or two piece of Eclipse gum. And then gradually that went from a half a piece of Nicorette down to a quarter piece of Nicorette. And there came a point where, you know, it was like, well, what's really the point? But I kept chewing the gum. And it has to be, here's the funny thing, it has to be the Eclipse Polar Ice. It has to be. And I take a lot of grief. In fact, who was the last person that gave me grief about it? Hoss, the Hoss. Colonel Hoss, he gave me some grief about chewing gum in my videos, but the fact of the matter is that, you know, it's hard to explain unless you've been an ex-smoker. And I know I should take gum out before I start doing videos, but the gum is just such a huge part of my life. So basically, I went from cigarettes to Nicorette to Polar Ice, and I don't know what I would have to use to get off of the Polar Ice, but I chew a lot of Polar Ice. I'll give you an example. Kroger's, which is a grocery store where I live, I buy my gum in drums. They're 60-piece drums. And Kroger's had them, I think, 2 for $5. And I went through every aisle, and they would have 4 of the Polar Ice, 4 in each aisle, 4 Polar Ice, 4 Polar Ice. Sometimes they'd have a little bit more than that. But I took from every aisle. I went there at like 2 o'clock in the morning because it's open in here 24 hours a day. And then I had 70 drums of the Polar Ice. I took every single Polar Ice that Kroger's had. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You're a class act. There's no doubt about it. Quasi50158. Sub to this guy. There'll be a link underneath there. He's clearly a good guy, and he's on the ball. But trust me, brother, I still use the Polar Ice. Oh, and I want to say, please forgive me about my my unboxing of the knife from Shun. The quality really sucks. I screwed up that when I uploaded it. I will be doing another video detailing the knife at 1080, very nice quality, so you all can see really truly how special that knife is. So anyway, everybody, I hope you're having a good one. Take care. See ya.